Senator Kitchen, you up on the bill?
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I feel called to speak to this issue today, and I appreciate the body's willingness to yield to my comments. I was elected in November amid a big conversation on Medicaid statewide, and so this is something that speaks true to me and my constituents, and so I have a couple things I'd like to offer, and I'll try not to be repetitive. I'd like to note that I take very seriously the legislature's responsibility to balance a budget and to pass good quality policy. And myself, as a Democrat representing Salt Lake City, I want it to be known that I intend to be a good partner with you all on this. And so it is a bit of a bummer that we find ourselves on party lines today. Proposition 3 is a big deal to voters. It enjoyed cross-cultural and bipartisan support in the majority of our Senate districts, or at least the majority of counties, let me say that. The intent from the general public was made very clear. Voters knew that they were voting to support an expansion up to 138% of the federal poverty level, and they knew that they were passing a tax increase, so they were willing to pay for this. What we're debating today is a bill that came about because of a concern over a projected shortfall of about $60 million by the year 2024. Instead of finding a solution to that projection down the road, we are creating a larger deficit in the short run. So SB96 concerns me. It worries me a lot. I worry about the 50,000 people who will be left out of Medicaid expansion. I worry that when we don't get the waiver from the Trump administration, that we are going to have to kick off 100,000 people a year from now who are going to have access to Medicaid. And I'm worried about the $72 million shortfall in the long run, or in the short run, excuse me. SB96 isn't in line with the spirit of what the voters approved. So I'm worried about sowing the seeds of distrust among the general public for the legislature and this body at large. And it makes me really worried about a self-induced wound when it comes to a perception of democracy and the will of the voters in the state of Utah. I believe we need to follow through on Proposition 3, and I believe that we can do so while making changes to improve the policy and ensure long-term solvency. That's something I believe we can do. Nobody wants a ballooning bill down the road. I believe that there are plenty of ways that we can go about this. There's a few proposals that are coming out of the House as well that I think we should pay attention to. So instead, what we are presented with today is a plan to what it appears to cost more and to cover fewer people, and that doesn't sit very well with me, so I'll be voting no on this today. Thank you very much.